This is my 68 F100. Got it for $700. There's some rust, indents. There's no floorboards in it. The door doesn't open very well. Well, actually there is floorboards. Custom, 100%. It runs pretty well. The valve train makes quite a bit of noise. So hopefully I can just tighten some of that stuff down. But it shifts, it stops. The brakes are actually really nice. The pedal's super firm, which is a bit surprising. Windshield's cracked, which I don't think I'm gonna worry about that. It's got, I believe, a 240 in it. It was originally a 240. I haven't checked this one, but I imagine it's the original motor. Planning on flipping this. I got it for 700 bucks. I think I got in at a pretty good point. Game plan is to kind of get the Maverick back on the road. I had to rebuild a motor, but those are the rims for it. They look kind of good on the truck though, but they won't fit, and I don't think I want to put them on the truck. But that's kind of the game plan. And right now, today, I'm going to try to knock out at least cleaning the floors up and trying to get one tacked in. I'm overlap them. I'm not going to be too, I don't care too much about it looking 100%. And then seam seal it, it'll look fine. I got to take the seat out first. But, and disconnect the battery, the ground. I've run into problems with that. But some of it's pretty bad. Like that's the one cab mount in there. That's really not touching anything. But it's still a cool cruiser, especially for $700. I'm about to try to pull the seat out. Got all the bolts out. There's 4 bolts on each side. Ooh, a pencil. It's actually not that dirty in here. It's rusty, and there's dust, rusty and dusty, but there's like no mouse poop or bugs or anything like that, which is nice. Oh, probably try to end up cleaning this up, spray some of the rusty metal down, but it's not horrible in here. I have the floor pans. They were Amazon specials for 70. I think it was 75 bucks for the pair, but I think it'd be fine. So that goes in there somehow. Not quite like that. I think I probably have to take the pedal out. There's a bunch of extra metal, which is nice. I'll probably end up trimming this up. I got sidetracked and doing the floorboards. I want to try to pop this dent out. I actually hammered it for like 2 minutes and it actually popped out. Let's see if I can pop this out a bit more. It's presentable now. I don't think I'm going to worry about it much more past that. Yeah, it cut out over here. Didn't shoot any of the cutting and grinding. Probably do that on the other side. Wasn't horrible. I ended up using the plasma cutter, the cutoff wheel, the air hammer. Combination of those got everything out. That motor mount though is just shot. I don't know what the plan is there. The car itself, or not motor mount, body mount. The car itself doesn't have any play in it, so I don't think it's the biggest deal. I'd like to somehow reinforce it, reattach it to the cab somehow, but I will probably get back to when I figure out what I want to do with that mount. See if I can just attach it to the body in a couple spots. Just cleaned it up a little bit in here, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with the body mount. I was kind of thinking, cut a piece of angle iron, bolt it in there. I'll probably sit up this way. I can weld it to the back where the original structure was, which is a bit flimsy, but once I get the floorboards in, it'll take a lot of this wiggle away, and I'll probably try to clean it up and I can spot weld it to the sides. And then I can run one, like a bar or something off down over here, because this is really nice and strong. I actually have a plate that I want to back this up with, just so it looks cleaner, because you can kind of see this in the floor. So I'll clean it up, grind it down, and then treat the rust, and then probably spot weld something over the top, just so it looks better, but then also give me a good point to weld to. And I can weld the bar from here over to the angle iron, and I'll tie the side in, and then I think once this gets welded in, the floor gets welded in, this will be nice and strong, and then I can weld a piece, something to that as well, and I think that should work. Got the angle iron cut out and drilled out. I think that's gonna work. And then I got this piece over here on the side cut out. The bottom of the truck itself is structural. My game plan right now is to spot weld this piece to the truck. Probably obviously clean it up first. And then once I get that in, and I like where this is at, which I think is fine right there, I'm gonna try to run something from here to down here. This is like main part of the cab. There's no movement here. So I figured if I get it there, that's probably the best place to get it. And then again, like I was saying before, try to tie it in here somehow. And then once the floor's in, this is gonna get a whole lot more structural and it's gonna want to stay. Because the floors are gonna be strong. I'm gonna overlap them. It's gonna look decent. So I think that's the game plan right now. And I think that should work pretty well. Got that all grounded down. I drilled out spots for the spot welds. I probably should drill the holes a bit larger, but it's not a big deal. It's not structural. And I think it looks decent. I'm about ready to weld it in, and then I'll kind of figure out the bracing from that to that afterwards. Just got it welded in. It ain't the prettiest thing. I couldn't really see much, but it looks a lot better than what it was. Now the next game plan is to get something from there to there. I don't know. Got the support in. It's all right. It's pretty sturdy though. Got the floorboard all fit in, cut up. I'm gonna toss it in really quick. A lot of times with these patch panels, especially by cheaper ones, they don't like to fit super well. So you always have to do some sort of cutting. But in general, that's what the floor is gonna look like once it's welded in. Just finished drilling all the holes for the floorboards, and I cleaned it up a little bit and fit a little bit better in that back corner because it was sitting a bit high back there. And I just took a little bit of the corner out and it sits in a lot more flush. I mean, I got it in a pretty good spot, I think. I'm gonna try to weld it up here now. Got the floor welded in. It's pretty solid. Give it no flex when I stand on it. Pretty happy with it. I think it came out all right. I'm gonna grind it down and I'll start cutting the other side up and getting it. Got that quickly primed. Kind of wanted to see what it looks like. It looks better. Looks pretty good. That's the. I was looking for the Wimbledon white paint because that's what the truck is. Cause I wanted to spray the interior. I think it'd look kind of cool to try to get the interior nice and clean. And it was super expensive, so I found some stuff that looked similar. And to me, that being the new paint and that being the original paint, that's obviously dirty and worn. Like, I think that looks pretty close. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna end up spraying like the back and the doors, maybe the dash. I'm just about ready to start cutting that side. Got this side going, got the back patch in, got the side panel welded in, the bottom panel, which looks pretty good. I think the floor will lay over it and it'll have a nice gap, or not have a gap. It'll be nice because it isn't there. And then the body mount, I just kind of was finding anything I had around. And I had like a stake, and then I welded a piece of metal to the stake to give it 4 angles instead of just coming back with 1. While I was welding the floor in, I had this gap up here on this side. Must have got it shifted over far enough. So I made this piece, just some sheet metal that I cut and cut slits in it so it would bend. Got the general shape. Once I welded it, I'll hammer it in place. But pretty simple, and it should cover that gap in. Got the seam sealer in and sprayed with the bed liner. It looks pretty good in here. I hate that bed liner though. It's the Rust-Oleum brand, and it likes to run. Even if you're way far away, you're not spraying it very hard. But cleaned up the seat a little bit. It's gonna be going in here in a little. Once I get everything painted, I don't want it to get oversprayed on the white up top, but nothing special, but it's a clean seat. So working on some of the dents. This side's not the bad side, but there's this big fold over here, so I'm gonna work on that one right now. Probably do less hammering and more just bending with probably a crescent wrench or something like that. The dent pulled out on this corner, it looks a lot better. Dents over here are still there, but they're a whole lot less visible from the side. I also realized on this side, the mount for the bed is gone. It just got all the wiggle So I cleaned it up. I'm about to weld it on with my state-of-the-art welder and welding cart. It hasn't come to the market yet. High quality stuff here though. Got the dash cleaned up. Took the sticker off. I'm gonna have to probably re-scrub the sticker. There was this trim piece. I think that's kind of where the dash cover mounted, and it wouldn't come off, so I stuck that on there. I don't think it looks bad. Got the doors painted. They came out really nice. So we gotta put the armrest on the other side, but it was being annoying. And I'm letting some more paint dry over there. But the floors are in, looking good. The bed liner's on it. Shift boots in. Cleaned up some of the wiring under the hood. It's nothing special. There was a valve cover leak I was able to clean up. Oops. Don't want that in the carburetor. But it looks decent. Got the exhaust in there, which I'll start it up here in a second. The thing runs really well. I'm gonna wash it and then put the penetrol on it. Hopefully get it looking nice and shiny. The final unveiling of the truck. It's in the morning. I have to go to work today, but someone's taking a look at it this evening, so I wanted to get some shots of it before it possibly goes. I've gotten a lot of hits on it. Did a lot of work to it in the end. The floorboards, they look good. Cleaned up the interior, painted the inside of the panels, got the doors shutting nice. Got some of the lifter tick out. I coated this, you can't see much of the water, but you can tell it's beating it really well. Put a coating on it, it looks super shiny. It almost looks like it was clear coated. I'm very happy with that. I left the bed liner in because, well, I don't really want to have to throw it out. It's gonna be a pain in the butt. But it cleaned up well, painted the rims. There's still a good pick in it, but it's a whole lot quieter. And the exhaust sounds pretty good for what it is. It's only 2-inch exhaust. Well, I'm pretty happy with it. Came out pretty well. It runs well, it shifts well, it stops well. It's a pretty decent funnel patina truck. And I wish I could keep it, but I want to see if I can make some money on it. Just got the F100 sold. Well, actually it sold a few days ago. And I ended up making $2,800 on it. I'm just working on putting my Maverick back together. But I got $2,800 on it. And I'm pretty happy because I used that money and I bought myself another car. A new project, doesn't run. It was a 2008 Nissan Altima two-door, the 3.5 in it. There's like 270 horsepower. It's pretty sweet. It doesn't start right now. That's the battery. It's super dead. I'm gonna have to get a new battery. But I'm pretty happy with that one.